Guys, welcome back to my channel, Talk Me Podcast. And today we have a special person here with us. Some may know him as the face behind Bunnell, Florida's most famous fish sandwich Phantom Chef, and some may know him just from the community or social media. We're going to be speaking with today about growth, redemption, and leadership. Dewayne Jenkins. So first, I want to start with, for the people who don't know you, who is Dewayne Jenkins?
Oh man, a Bunnell resident, born and raised. Highlight that I am a state champion high jumper, still record holder at FPC, 24 years. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a war veteran. I did 2 tours over in Iraq. I had a little bit of trouble get back into society after I got out to the military. Trying to pour into the youth, you know, and then, you know, recently I took a liking to social media. And I've been trying to do like a little content, trying to get that off the ground. That's been doing pretty good. 2 years ago, I took over the Phantom Chef. We have been doing, you know, pretty good numbers and growing the business. That's what I do now.
So growing up, what type of child were you? Were you like a quiet child, outspoken?
Well, I've always been outspoken. I've always been loud. I've always been the class clown.
Okay. What was your biggest thing that you learned from?
You know, you ain't gonna believe this, man. You know, I thought going to prison was the worst thing that ever happened to me, but it wasn't. I think it saved me from something bigger. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I was living a life that, you know, I was living reckless. Yeah. Those 2.5 years, I think they saved me from something a lot bigger. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't want to be taken away from my kids and, you know, my family for that long. So I think that was a real eye opener.
Business side of you really quick, because a lot of people have been picking up on you with social media because you do a lot of content. Do you say that has brought more business?
Absolutely. Social media is the new wave now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's why, I don't know if you notice, no matter when I'm clowning around or when I'm just, you know, promoting the business, I never use profanity. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not disrespectful to anybody. I try to keep it business savvy with everything that I do, because that's your image. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's your image, and that's what's going to draw people.
You talked about going to prison and doing a little bit of time. Now, when you came home, what were some of the first few jobs that you dived into?
Well, so it's funny, and I want to give a shout out to Call Media. When I first got out of the military, I had a job in Oklahoma, at a call center, and I did really well at that job. But I ended up moving back to Florida. Just, you know, I didn't lose it. I just ended up, you know, putting my 2 weeks in leave. But I climbed the ranks at that job too. Yeah. And I wanted to do something similar down in Florida, but at the time, Florida didn't have call centers. Right. And most call centers are in the Midwest, because people in the Midwest don't have accents. You get them phone calls and it's like Oklahoma and Texas and stuff like that, Nebraska, whatever. It's because those people generally up there, they don't have accents. Like New York, like a New York accent or a Southern drawl. I got to Florida, I was looking for call centers and they didn't have them. But then when I ended up going to prison, I went to work release, and then there was a guy working at a call center. He's like, "Hey man, you speak really well. You should come to the call center." I was like, "Florida don't got call center." He's like, "Yeah, you should. It's called Core Media." So I went there, I interviewed, I did well, and one of the first questions I asked him, I said, "Hey, look, I am a felon. You know what I mean? Is me being a felon gonna prohibit me from moving up in the company? Because if not, I'll just go find something else." It was like, "No, you know, once you start here, you got a clean slate. It's equal opportunity. We're gonna, you know, promote you based on what you do and your performance." I was like, "Cool, let's do it." Right. And then I ended up becoming a manager there while I was in work release. Oh. Yeah, not to when I get out.
So customer service was your thing?
Yeah, I love customer service, man. I don't like hard labor.
And you know, it's funny because we actually worked together, y'all, for a little bit of time.
Yes, we did.
Because it was a company called American Support that was at that location first, and I'm thinking they were still there, and then I find out it was a different company, and you were working there.
Yeah, that was Smart Contact. Smart Contact. Yeah, so I was actually the sales manager there when you came. Yeah. So yeah, I love jobs like that. I love sales. That, you know, that's my personality. I can you know, be myself and make people laugh and, and also be about business at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I like stuff like that.
Did you, with Bantam Chef, like taking on to that job, how did that trend? Did you already know the owners of
Yeah, so it's a funny story. So I was actually working at what was I working? Oh, Holiday Inn.
Okay.
Now I was supervisor down there at the Holiday Inn, and the owner, Bob Cressman and Rhonda Cressman, I used to live with them when I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah. So me, Maurice Caldwell, and Marcus Beecham. All right. So they're brothers, and Maurice was my best friend at the time, and they lived in Mondex, and my grandma lived in Mondex. So I used to always go to their house, all the time, hang out with them, and then one time I was over there I spent the night like every day during the summer.
Yeah.
And then one day, it was like the day before school started back going into my junior year. And then the mom came out and she was like, right when I was about to go home too, she was like, so what time are you coming home? And I'm like, I guess 8 o'clock.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I ended up, moving in with them. And it wasn't that my mom was a bad mom or my dad was living with my grandmother at the time. But my grandma was getting up in age. She was sick, so she wasn't able to come and really support me with sports and keep up with school and everything like that. And they didn't have any kids besides, us three. So they had time to do that and go up and down the road with me with sports and follow up with me in school and everything. Like they never missed a basketball game. They never missed a track meet. Wow. Every time I did something like good, I always had somebody to look up into the crowd and, say, hey, I did it, for them, or I got that support. I've been affiliated with the Bantam Chef since the late 90s.
That's good. I know a lot of people, that's probably very much new to them.
Yeah. So they like, they like my parents, like my second parents, you know what I'm saying? So, and then even when I went to Iraq, like I always got a care package. They always, sent me stuff and support. They, wrote me and always made sure I was straight. And with my other jobs, anytime I needed help or anytime I fell short, I can go to them and be like, hey, I'm struggling with this or this and that. And they was like, anything that they can do to help me, they help me out. So it's kind of like a two-way street. You know what I mean? The majority owner, Bob, he's, wanted to get out the business, not really get out the business, but take a step back. And he asked me to come over and take over and, run the business. I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's rock.
I know you're making them very proud right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I said, everybody always knew about Bantam Chef, but just seeing all the people just from all different ages, coming from everywhere. Did a fish war with another fish competitor, I guess you can say, in a different county.
Shout out to Rue, man.
I like how, because it's all fun and games. At the end of the day, your business is your business, his business is his business. But the way that you've been promoting it and the way that people has been supporting it has been hilarious too. All the reviews and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it, comedy and try to keep it professional at all times.
To put it to a squash, there's no real beef.
No, I have no beef with Rue, man. I have no beef with what he's doing. Actually, I support what he's doing. Yeah. And then somebody made a comment because I commented on one of his posts one time, and somebody was making a joke. It was like, oh. It says he's a top fan. He must be doing something right. Like, look, I was a fan of Rue's before the whole fish thing. Right. Like, I used to share some of his posts. I used to laugh at some of his posts. I was following him before that. Yeah. And the reason why I don't, some of the stuff he say, I agree with it. Right. Before the whole fish thing, but Rue's a different type of creator. You know what I mean? Not that it's a bad thing because it's business. Yeah. But he used a lot of profanity and derogatory stuff that get a lot of attention, which is good for his page. I can't post that on my page. I can't reshare certain things. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, it's harder maintaining a business than it is starting one. Exactly. So I don't want to be the reason that people stop coming to Bantam Chef because I'm making making a fool out of, myself and the Bantam Chef. You know what I mean? I want to try to keep a good face. I got parents watching my page, coaches. I'm trying to get a job at FPC hopefully soon. Oh, okay. So, I know they watching my page. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to do nothing that's going to harm them or embarrass my kids and stuff like that. So I try to keep it real professional.
Yeah. All right. Now switching gears for a little bit. How would you describe this season of your life right now?
Man, listen, to be honest, Adriana, man, like, so I put a couple months ago that I was giving my life to God, right? And, you know, I'm a man, you know, I'm human just like everybody else. So sometimes I fall short. But for the first time in my life, I'm making a conscious effort to be all the way right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even with not just, you know, doing right, like eating right too. Like I just recently became a vegetarian.
Really?
I haven't eaten like beef, pork, or fried foods in about 5 months. But it's been, what's the day, the 23rd? It's been 24 days since I had chicken. So I let it all go. So I'm trying to like cleanse my body, trying to cleanse my mind. I stopped smoking weed recently too, 5 months ago too.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know I'm 100% disabled through the military too. Like I have PTSD.
Yeah.
So the military take care of me.
Okay.
In that part. But I was, you know, smoking medical marijuana through, you know, with my card and everything.
Yeah.
But one day, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I get up, I go to the bathroom, use the bathroom, and I look in the mirror and I kind of like did a little side view, and I just saw my eyes. There was like bloodshot red, and like I just looked like fried.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I was like, this is not me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and if I see this version of me, then everybody else see this version of me. So I don't want the kids that I coach to see it. I don't want my kids to see it in the public eye to see me like this. I was like, wondering if that's what they see when they see me too. So that's when I made that decision. I said, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna quit. I want to do highlight. I did have a medical marijuana card. All right. All right. So, but yeah, so I made that decision to stop that too. So, you know, by God's grace, it's been 5 months since I did that. Since I've been, you know, eating unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to be the best version of myself, like possible right now. And then also, when I mentor these kids and I tell them like, you know, you shouldn't smoke and you know, do stuff like that. I want to be able to say it with confidence and conviction.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to see me like telling them that, and then they see me around the corner. I'm you know, sparking up. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be the proof and show them that, you know, there is a better way. There's a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's self-discipline.
Yeah.
Because temptation, you ride by all these McDonald's, all this.
Man, listen, it's still a struggle right now. I smell barbecue and I'm like, might break it. I actually put a post up today that I want to break my diet, but I do things sometimes just to prove that I'm headstrong. You know what I mean? And I do have that self-discipline. So.
I cut pork out, but every now and then I'll dip in it and I can feel it. It give me a headache. I get the itis. I'm like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody have moments in their life where they wish they could redo something or something that happened that they learned from. What was your biggest thing that you learned from?
No, you ain't gonna believe this, man. Nothing. Yeah. Because, you know, I thought going to prison was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But it wasn't. A lot of people don't know I went to prison for selling pills. I sold 3 pills to somebody in the community, somebody in the hood that I've been knowing my whole life, and they ended up, you know, turning on me, wired up, video, whatever. Shout out to Pop Brown. But I gave him a deal too. I only made listen, man. I only made $9 profit off of this whole transaction, and I ended up doing 2.5 years in prison. So me going to prison and sitting on that bunk, and I thought about it every single night. I thought about them $9. I'm like, man, I'm really in here for $9. Like all the stuff I done did, I'm really in here for $9.
Yeah.
But I think it saved me from something bigger.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I was living a life that, you know, I was living reckless. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was hanging out, I was partying, I was doing a lot of, not hard drugs, but, you know, smoking weed and, you know, taking prescription drugs and, you know, really hanging out. And I really didn't have no respect for myself or the community or anything. I was pushing stuff on, you know, the young people that was around me and everything too. Because I made myself a promise. I was like, listen, I ain't no, bro. No, I mean, I could do it. A man can do time once you set your mind to it, but I don't want to do it. Exactly. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I'm so slow to anger right now. When with certain things, I let a lot of stuff slide. I see people throwing shots all the time, and I don't indulge in it. I don't go back and forth.
Because one thing about this world is very much yin and yang for real. Like you have to have negatives and positives in order for it to continue to go around. Like there's nobody that can continue to have like all good things happen to them, nothing bad, no success. You cannot grow if you don't have things that happen to you.
You gotta go through it.
Gotta go through it. It's just how you gonna handle it while going through it, you know?
Exactly.
And it's okay like to fall short, because when you were mentioning like the people around you, my brother used to always be with you. And now he fell back a little bit, but he's trying to get himself back together. But having someone around who is now out of that, and he can look at you as a positive role model now. So, or other people too watching. Yeah,
when he came home the last time, you know what I mean? Like your brother is one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you know that or not. Like, me and him got real close down in the bottom. So when I came home, and then I think he was locked up when I came home, but then he ended up coming home again, and I tried to take him under my wing, like take him down with me. Yeah, he came down with me at the banner truck down in St. Augustine. But I can't be around him 24/7. You know what I mean? He do got another set of friends that might be a little bit more influential than I am, because he's not ready to make that step like I was. Like I was ready to make that step. You know what I'm saying? And I can't fault him for that. You know, we all go through different stuff in different parts of our life, and it's gonna be certain things that make you want to change. You know what I'm saying? You know, I do feel kind of guilty sometimes, because you know, when we were down doing, you know, what we were doing down in the bottom, I was real influential to him. You know what I mean? I had him under my wing then too. He always got a spot with me. If that man came to me right now and said, "Hey, bro, I need a job," he got a job. Like that's all my friends. All my friends are like that. You know what I mean? Like my friendship with them was not circumstantial. It's for life. You know what I mean? We got the same tattoos. Like, so if any way I can help him, I'm gonna help him anytime. You know what I'm saying? And that's for all of them. But yeah, he I heard he trying to fight back and try to get his life back together. And you can let him know, man, if he need to reach out, he can come. He can always come reach out to me, man. Our friendship is not circumstantial. You know what I mean?
Looking back now at your younger self, what would you tell your younger self?
I know that's hard. Save. Yeah, that'll be the main thing, because I spent a lot of money. I blew a lot of money on dumb things. But when I was in the streets, I used to make pretty good money, but I blew a lot of money. You know what I mean? And it probably looked like I had more back then than I do now. And now I just work, and I have. I mean, I'm not boasting. I'm just putting it out there. I have way more now than I had back then by working a 9-to-5. You know what I mean? And making better choices and not spending money on ridiculous stuff. You know what I mean? I got life insurance, health insurance, dental insurance. I had none of that back then. I just had money. You know what I mean? But I would definitely save. Yeah.
That's a good answer. Now, when people hear Dewayne Jenkins, your name, what do you want them to connect that with or reflect that as your name?
Well, the main thing is I want to be somebody that's respected in the community. You know what I mean? I want to have a good name and a good face. Like people that I look up to and that I looked up to, like, Reverend Frank Giddens, Mr. Sugar Pop, Miss Daisy May, people like that. Those are people that I want to have my name in the ranks of those people when they see me or when they hear my name. You know what I mean? Not for the bad stuff that I did, but at the same time, I want the people that are trying to get their life back. I want them to see me as somebody that went through it and that made those changes, and that it's possible to take your life back. And that's the main thing where I'm at right now is changing that image and that perception that people have of me. And I know some people think they think I'm faking. I get that all the time, that people think I'm fake, but I've been out for 10 years, going on 10 or 9 years and some change. If I've been faking for 9 years, I'm a good character. I'm a good actor. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I said that I was going to do when I was in work release, I think I've done it. You know what I mean? I wanted to have a mentor program, but I don't have the mentor program, but I coach 3 teams right now. I used to have 6, but I took the back seat to coaching travel ball because the restaurant is so strenuous and I can't afford to travel, and miss games if somebody call out of work and stuff like that. So now I coach locally, but I have 3 teams. I have about 30 or 40 kids that I coach on a weekly basis.
Is it all boys?
I have 1 girl now, but I used to coach girls too. I have other girls too, but I got 1 girl now. But I can do my mentoring through them. So I don't just coach basketball. I'll pull them to the side and I coach them on life too.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm still, mentoring too. And even now I pull up on the block, I'm mentoring to people that's my age.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm telling them, hey, you can do this or do this or do this way, you know what I'm saying? Or don't do that. And they respect it. They respect it a lot. Some of them, they was like, at first, they were kind of like, man, you used to.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but I did. But, I'm not doing it now. And I'm trying to tell you the way to do it and try to don't waste time, doing it and then get in trouble and then end up like me trying to take your life back. I'm trying to tell you to do it now. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I said, I had to put away certain things so I can be the proof of that. You know what I mean? And not just do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Now I want to be, do as I do. You know what I mean? Instead of, the other way around. I respect life so much. I respect people so much. And I feel like I have an obligation to give that knowledge to these younger people. And if I can give them that knowledge now, they don't have to wait until they get older to hear it or see it. You know what I mean? It'll be better for them. And all of them ain't gonna be receptive to it. But like they say, if you can say 1, 2, 3, you know what I mean? You may save that person from doing something detrimental to their life or their family.
Okay, so we have a little paddle here. It has yes or no. We're gonna play like a yes or no game.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you a few questions. The first question is gonna be, do you think your fish sandwiches are undefeated? In the middle?
Nah, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
But can I elaborate?
Yeah, you can.
All right, so there may be a better fish sandwich out there than Ben Shell. But a lot of people they're gonna come back for the experience, not just what it tastes like. You know what I mean? So if you can make people feel comfortable at your establishment, you it's kind of like in a relationship with a male or a female. You know what I mean? If you make people feel comfortable, you might get a second date. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as opposed to just because you spending money on them, but you being rude, something like that. They don't want it. But if you make people feel comfortable, and give them a good experience, I think that's what makes them come back. Because people come back for you. Like you're really selling yourself too, not just the fish sandwich. When you promote it, you're selling yourself too. So I don't think it's undefeated in taste. But I think we have very good customer service. We have a good name and a good brand, and that's what makes people come.
Okay, I like that. So have you ever checked the comments just to see what people had to say about you or your business? Or
It's hard not to comment back, because some of the stuff be like, it's hard not to comment back. But what I do is, if I see somebody that complained about and they had a bad experience, I will comment and be like, hey, I'm sorry that happened to you. You can always come back and I'll make it right. Yeah. Because I'm always gonna make it right. If somebody had a bad experience or bad customer service or a bad sandwich, I'm gonna always tell them, hey, look, please come back. Let me fix it. I'll reimburse you. I'll make you a new meal. That part I can take care of. That I can. Now, if you don't like it because it's unseasoned or whatever, that I can't help that. You know what I mean? That's just that's a product that we have. And to be honest, if it's been a business for this long and we've been successful this long, I'm not changing. I'm not gonna. Who am I to change it? You know what I mean? I'm gonna go with what works.
And honestly, that's a recipe for all ages when you think about it, because some people can't have certain stuff.
Exactly. So. Yeah.
Social media platforms, all that. Where can they find you?
So my main thing is Facebook. So I just hit 10,000 followers on Facebook, and I'm trying to get it up. I'm trying to build it up and get it higher. But yeah, you can find me on Dewayne Jenkins on Facebook. I'm always working. I'm always at mentorship. So if you want to stop by there, you can come see me there. I'm either there, coaching, or home. Those 1 of the 3 places. That's it.
I actually have a gift for you right here behind. I try to get a
I
gift
like gifts.
and think about the person, and that to me is exactly you. All right, you guys, until next time, keep elevating and always strive to be the best version of yourself. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button now. Thank you. Bye.
Subscribe.